Right, hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another Redmond Roundup where we're going to be talking about how Liverpool have won 7 games in a row. Yes, the convenience is crazy that I'm only here for the wins, but that's the role in which I've got to play at the moment. Come on guys, this YouTube game is a long process. I'm in here for the long haul. I'm not here for the short term while we're losing games of football, let's be real. Nah, I'm messing. The external circumstances to why I haven't been filming. Otherwise, who cares? Because we're winning football matches and we're going to get Champions League as long as Manchester United keep playing crap, Newcastle United keep being inconsistent, because I admire what both teams have done this season. And that includes Manchester United. Although Manchester United has now gone back to their normal banterish selves, and that's very fair to say, because Manchester United went into this November, December, January season with the hopes of potentially being able to be that sort of third title race contender who was going to end up being second. If you kind of remember Leicester, Arsenal and Tottenham, that was kind of the dynamic where I believe it was Tottenham who ended up finishing third and it was a 2-horse race. It was crazy. And then fast forward to now, it's kind of like that with Manchester United. They were trying to insert themselves in the conversation that they just never had a right to insert themselves into, and they won a Carabao Cup, and I'll be honest, I don't think it was the most convincing running ever. I think they underachieved in the Europa League. And then they've now gone on to achieve, or underachieve, in the Premier League. Newcastle, they've massively overachieved, but thankfully, over the last 10 games, they've looked human. Before that, they didn't really look like one of those teams that you were thinking, we're going to get points off these. Unless you're Liverpool, who beat them twice, shout out to Fabio Carvalho. And now Liverpool have been able to catch on a little bit of momentum, which I will be honest, I did not see happening whatsoever, guys. I'll be one of the first people on the front line and service to say, I was wrong, I was horrible to the players, I was disrespectful, I was rude, and most importantly, I wrote them off. I didn't see Virgil van Dijk as somebody who was fully capable anymore of being a top-level centre-back. I did not see Darwin Núñez capable of achieving even near 20 goals in his first season, especially if you added the context of an underperforming team. And then if you told me Jota would be out, Diaz would be out, players would be in and out all season, it just, what I would have predicted is a season like what we had 2 seasons ago. And the reason why I said going into last year and then this season, make sure we get acquisitions, is not because I'm trying to be Captain Obvious, where every fan and their ma who does not watch football agree that teams need transfers. But here is the thing. I said be prepared. I said this to Rio Ferdinand when I done an interview with Rio Ferdinand, which is on the channel that you can check out. I said it to him to his face. I said, we have, because he was trying to be nice to Liverpool. I think he was trying to do that thing where, you know, because he's a legend and he's been in the game, he has more sympathy for the current players, which honestly is why I admire certain footballers' perspectives, including his own. In my opinion, I said to him, I said, why can't the board be prepared for the potential opportunity or risk of injuries? Why can't the board be willing to tell the players, their current employees, that, oh, by the way, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to maintain your place. Oh, because we're bringing in reinforcements who are going to be competing in for your spot. So Fabinho, Virgil, everybody, you are all on the fence. It does not take away the legacy in which you have created. It does not do these things, but you are on the fence because it adds the element of competition. So I thought that was something that we massively lacked. So if you told me we'd be in this position right now, 5th place in December, January, February, I'd have been buzzing. And it's not because I went into the season thinking, oh yeah, 5th place. But context matters, and context in this situation says we've been very crap and we've turned it round last minute. Does that mean we'll get top 4? It doesn't confirm it at all. But listen, it's looking good. We've got 2 games remaining. One of those games is Southampton. The other game, Aston Villa is the other game, which is not an easy game of football. If we get through Aston Villa, I would be gobsmacked if we didn't end up getting the 9 wins in a row, which is what it would be if we were to beat Villa and Southampton. And that would be the longest win streak that we've had in the Premier League since the league title winning season. It's only Liverpool fucking Football Club to literally lose all your centre-backs and salvage top 3 with a goalkeeper scoring a goal in the last day of the season. It's also a very Liverpool thing to go ahead and perform the way that they've been performing in consistent games. Not that well, but getting results, doing what they need to do. And then now leading on to the Brighton game yesterday, which is what I wanted to talk about anyway. That is exactly what we saw. Sorry, Leicester, not Brighton. What am I on about? Brighton beat Arsenal. That was a video that I was going to do in a little bit. But Leicester City are being terrible. Should we beat Leicester? Yes. Did they look crap? Absolutely. But did we do more than the job? Of course. And here's the thing. Curtis Jones is now getting goals. Curtis Jones is looking very, very good in that midfield. And I'm not one of those who's trying to overhype him, say, let's start him every week and let's not worry about reinforcements because we've got Curtis Jones. And it kind of pisses me off that Curtis Jones didn't have this breakthrough at the beginning of next season, because now I think there's less agency on replacing whoever would have been that Curtis Jones type player. But I do think Jones has been a part of the plans for a long time. Even when all Liverpool fans wrote him off, I still thought there's something there for Curtis Jones, and it's not because he's a Scouser, which has question. I've heard him speak. He doesn't sound that much like a Scouser, and he probably is a Scouser. Doesn't sound like it. That's the argument and the premise. The point is, I've always saw the kid's got technical ability with a little bit of polishing and time and patience, which I know in the modern age is something that we do not tend to have. Then I believe he can be a good player. But can he be Liverpool calibre? That's what remains to be seen. And although the 2 goals were good, it's still not going to convince me to say no midfielders or Curtis Jones can be one of the 3 main midfielders next season. But I do think he's in the best midfield 3 right now. When you consider all of our players, the fact Thiago's available once every 3 games, the fact Henderson's 35, Milner's 45, Fabinho looks 50. So we've got these combination of players where it's not really hard to get into the midfield. So I don't want to sit there and say Curtis Jones is the right and almighty answer based on the sole fact our midfield's crap. So we still need to go out and get reinforcements. But I'm buzzing, because we're making Manchester United look a little bit embarrassing, because they were the quadruple chaser Manchester Devil Reds, weren't they? Do you know what I mean, though, Liverpool fan? In fact, this goes to the wider neutrals of the James Redmond TV YouTube channel. You know what I'm on about, and it's the way Manchester United fans think that you can just get away with it, and you can sit there like as if you wasn't saying that you're going to go and do this, and you're going to go in the Europa League, and you're going to go and smash teams out the park. Nobody is mentioning the fact that Rashford has got 2 goals in the previous 17 games of football. Not one person is mentioning that, by the way. Whereas Trent Alexander-Arnold will get skinned by one of the world's best left wingers in Vinicius Jr., and it's all over Twitter. I am just saying, Manchester United fans they call Liverpool fans victims. They call them out on social media, the biggest content creators, some of whom I have a lot of respect for, but come out crying like bitches. When did the football fans on the YouTube scene become bitches? Probably a while ago with some of them. But in the main, I feel like we're becoming a very, everything's against my team, this, that. Marcus Rashford has got away with absolute murder with the fact that now he's supposed to be entering his prime, and this is the best he's got, 2 goals in 17 games. 2 goals in 17 games. And Salah's had his bad patches, but I've never seen anything like that. Never. Not with Mohamed Salah. Maybe you can pull out something, but I doubt you will. At least something that bad. You can probably find me 5, 6 goals in 17 games. I highly doubt Salah has had anything less than 5 goals in 17 games. So, and I get it. But Marcus Rashford isn't in his prime, though. Mohamed Salah's this, that, and the other. I'm on it. But Man United have improved. We've improved at the end of the season, and in their best. And this is, and I quote from some very legit Manchester United fans, I am talking about the Saids, I am talking about the Flawlesses, I am talking about the Ransom Bants, I am mentioning many other names, and there's many other names that I could mention, but I'm not going to, because I cannot be bothered. But this still goes to you, and you know who I'm directing this to, in the fact that you quoted yourself that this was Manchester United's best season in the last 10 years, which is a ludicrous statement in itself, but let's say that's true. In your best season in the last 10 years is nowhere near as good as our worst season, where we look shit from start nearly till finish. We made the resurgence. We came back. And the difference between the Manchester City Sharks is they're quite cooler because they're actually going to go and win the league. We've had to make it a little bit messy. We're the Red Sharks, not because we were born red, but because we tear through these fishes like motherfuckers, and we're gonna come and get you. And by that point, we're gonna have blood all over us. Is the analogy. Point and premise: we are chasing Manchester United. So I don't even know. It would be ludicrous for me to sit here and say we're defo getting top 4. Hopefully we do, but there's no guarantee. I'm saying that I'm going to stick to my guns and say it's not going to happen. I'm going to try and involve a little bit of reverse psychology there. I'm going to try and just jinx us all the way to the last game of the season. and hope that the team can prove me wrong. But I'm going to say that Manchester United still edge it, but also Newcastle, the points getting narrow, man. I think they're only a point above Manchester United. So if Newcastle are that close to us, there's a place to be taken there. But it would be that much more sweeter if us, Newcastle, Arsenal and City got in the Champions League, because that means there's no United, there's no Chelsea. Hopefully Everton get relegated. Are you on to this debate about should Everton... I've just moved my camera. Are you on to this weird debate about should Everton get relegated because of the City? I want to just give my opinion on this before we round up the video. James Redmond, do you want to see Everton get relegated 100% every single day of the week and relegate them for a couple of years? We don't need them anytime soon. Like, here's the thing. Everton is a huge football club. Like, historically, listen, they're not on our level, I get that, but they are a huge football club. Like, I saw someone trying to compare Newcastle to Everton the other day, and with all due respect to all the tunes out there, you've got a massive football club, but it's just not Everton. Like, before 1990, Everton was Chelsea's big brother, Tottenham's big brother. You could even argue in some senses Arsenal's. I'm just saying, like, Arsenal, maybe not Arsenal. Again, I'm younger, so I can be wrong about some of these things. But Everton's was a lot of these teams' big brother for certain. And to see them go down for a couple of years with the shit that I've had to endure in schools across Kirkdale and Bootle and all these places in Liverpool, where you just see scruffy Evertonians coming into your school saying you're shit, you're this, you're that, and having a right because my manager at the time was Roy fucking Hodgson. So it was a point where Everton fans could compete with me. So I built a bit of a rivalry there, because my prime years of getting into football, we were shite. We won the Champions League, which I can barely remember, when Steven Gerrard won it for us against AC Milan. And then fast forward, we just got worse and worse and worse. And the Torres era was cool, and then Torres fucked off to Chelsea. And it just always felt like we were never meant to be that team. But now we're that team, and they're getting relegated. I hope they get relegated so much, because they deserve it. But who cares? Who cares what I think? Anyway, let me know what you think about this video in the comments down below. Like it, or dislike it, whatever. Any interaction helps. Comments. And yeah, I've missed you all. Much love to you and your mothers, and I'll see you all in a pizzle. Peace out.